You know that feeling when you've technically slept long enough, but you wake up and your bones, every cell of your body just feels exhausted still? That is not just tiredness, that is menopause tiredness, and it's a real thing. The kind of tiredness that no sleepy tea is going to help remedy, and that's what we're diving into today. Welcome to my channel. My name is Kate. I host a weekly video every Monday around something related to menopause. I'm 54 for a few weeks longer, and I hope that you'll find this helpful. But not all fatigue is fixed with a good night's sleep, and if you're menopausal, I'm sure you are fully aware of that. You might be blaming yourself, you might be thinking, oh, I'm just getting lazy, I've just lost my mojo. We're going to unpack that today with a lot of compassion and a good dollop of common sense. Fatigue in menopause isn't really just one thing, it's a bit like a lasagna, and yes, we are going there, because each layer has a very important part to play. Hormonal fatigue, when our hormones are fluctuating all over the shop, particularly perimenopausal, you might be having the night sweats as well. Those used to plague me terribly. Your body's going through that transition, which in and of itself is a stressor. Stress sort of underpins everything related to our well-being through menopause. If you can manage your stress more effectively, because let's face it, stress is always going to be out there. So it's not about us being able to control the uncontrollable. It is about how we choose to allow that to affect us to a degree. So always beware of reducing that stressor load on yourself. And our fluctuating hormones, that is a stressor. It's our body getting used to behaving in a slightly different way. Also, as your sex hormones fall, your adrenal glands back up the job of the ovaries. So if you're in a stressful life already, your adrenal glands are not going to be able to do the job that they were due to do or expected to do when your ovaries went into retirement. So really be mindful of that. A lot of people don't appreciate how important your adrenal health is on how you experience the menopause. If you can really look after your adrenal health, keep the stressors as low as possible, keep your reaction to stressors as low as possible, and also support your lifestyle in a way that a normal, healthy, functioning human would have a healthy lifestyle with the movement, with the healthy nutrition, with plenty of water, etc. That is going to have a significant impact on how you experience the menopause, and will also help to mitigate that sense of fatigue. The next type of fatigue to just mention is the emotional fatigue. So you may have had years of caring for your children. You may have had years of caring for a sick loved one. You may have elderly parents that you're either worried about or that you're caring for. Maybe in a relationship that is no longer serving you. You're feeling unhappy with it and you're wondering how on earth you can free yourself from that relationship. This unpaid emotional labor that nobody sees, this invisible emotional payment that you're regularly coughing up, that is having a significant impact on your resilience. And nervous system fatigue is a really important one. We are designed as human beings to live within the parasympathetic nervous system. That is our relaxation response. It's the rest and digest response. But most of us are living in the sympathetic nervous system response, so the fight, flight, or freeze response. And that is not good for us. We're designed to go into that occasionally. You know, the saber-toothed tiger comes walking up the driveway. We need to leg it or fight it in order to survive. Or, you know, the nasty boss or the deadlines, for instance. Those are the things that we have a short burst of hyper sort of stress over, but then it goes. But we don't live like that these days. Everything is stressors. So maybe you go to work, you have a very busy office life. You might be working with colleagues or have somebody above you who's not particularly pleasant. You may have the concern about your job. You might be thinking, but what, those people were made redundant not long ago. Am I going to be made redundant? You've got your financial worries. I mean, everything revolves around money these days. You might be going through the stress of your body changing. It does. We're all getting older. And that can take a little while just to get your head around. And I have to say, once you do get your head into it, it's really liberating. It took me a few years to finally think, well, I'm just getting older, I'm going to embrace it. And I do keep myself healthy and fit and as strong as I can. But at the end of the day, we are all getting older. And if we're lucky enough to reach old age, well, that is one heck of a badge to be proud of. It's the way society, I don't know, makes middle-aged women beyond invisible. I just think we've got it all wrong. Hopefully, maybe one day it'll all be sort of turned back on its head again. But at the moment, it's a sort of weird old place to be, isn't it? But that everything like that is increasing your stress response. And you might be in a relationship that you're no longer happy with. That's a stressor. And yes, that also ties into emotional fatigue, but that is also nervous system fatigue. We are always on the go. We've always got music on, or we've always got listen to podcasts, or the television's always on. Yeah, all that noise in the background again is it's just it's like the white noise that is constantly flicking away at your nervous system. And a lot of us have got to the stage now where if we have maybe an afternoon where we actually have to do nothing, I mean, it's quite rare, isn't it? But if you did, you probably wouldn't even know what to do with it. What do? I've got nothing to do. I'm bored. Oh, I'll put the television on, or I'll listen to some music, or I'll listen to a podcast, or I'll call a friend. We're so used to being distracted, we've completely lost our ability, for the vast majority of us, to just be with ourselves quietly. And that really is what our nervous system needs in order to just take that breath out and smooth the feathers back down again. And we don't get it. And that is causing us a high price to pay. And we're wondering why we're feeling fatigued. It's not that much of a difficult question to answer, but it does require us to look at our lifestyles and think, okay, that's probably not serving me. That's probably not serving me. That's probably not serving me. And not just recognizing them, but actually actively taking steps to mitigate all of those negative influences that are having a negative impact on your life. That fatigue, it's not you burning out or breaking down. It's your nervous system saying, wake up, girly, we need to make a few changes. Not really so much about sleep hygiene, it's more about nervous system regulation. If more sleep is not the fix, what is? So this is where I'm going to invite you to try different keys for different doors, because we're all different and you might find that one thing works better for you and something else works better for your best friend. So try regulating your nervous system. Walk out in nature every day. Reduce your screen time. Maybe instead of watching the Netflix episode before you go to bed and listen to a book. Get to bed an hour earlier or 45 minutes earlier and listen to an audible book, or even, dare I say it, go to bed early and just do deep breathing work in bed. Do some box breathing, in for 6, hold it for 6, out for 6, hold it out for 6, in 6, hold it for 6, out for 6, hold it out for 6, or whatever seconds works best for you. It might be 4, it might be 8, it might be 10, it might be 12. But you will wake up feeling so much calmer and more peaceful. And with time, that will accumulate and it's going to bring down that stress response, and it's going to improve how you feel when you wake up. It's going to improve that heaviness of the fatigue that you might currently be experiencing. Next, you can support your hormones. What does that involve? Things like strength training. That is going to have a positive impact on insulin, which is your fat storing hormone. It's going to help boost your metabolism. It's going to make you feel stronger. Strong body gives you a stronger mind. Absolutely 100%. It's good for your gut health. 90 to 95% of your serotonin, one of our happy hormones, is created in the gut. When we can focus on good nutrition. If you're putting poor fuel into a car, it's not going to run very well. Same applies to you. If you're eating ultra processed foods, lots of sugars, the cakes, the cookies, the chocolate croissants, etc., too much alcohol, too much of the negative stuff, the sodas with the artificial sweeteners, they're not good for you either. That all has a negative impact on how you operate. And if you're not filling yourself with the stuff that's going to give you energy, so food is energy, drink is energy, water is energy, make sure that you're aware of what you're feeding your body with, because that has a profound impact on your resilience to stress and also bringing down that sense of fatigue and giving you that zing in your step. That you can take also on magnesium, that's very good at calming you. There are all sorts of different types of magnesium. People tend to mention magnesium glycinate before bed. I think a magnesium complex is better before bed, but magnesium is going to help to calm you down. So, see what works best for you. Sleepy teas, while I mention them as not particularly useful against fatigue in the earlier part of this video, they are good at helping you get to sleep. They're calming, things like chamomile, valerian, lavender, etc. Creatine is going to help you with the clarity of your thoughts. Until recently, it's been seen as something that you would take if you want to build, good lean muscles, improve your muscle strength. But there's also more and more studies showing that if you struggle with cognitive decline, so you've got the brain fog, you've got the memory issues, you've just got the fuzzy thoughts, creatine is brilliant for that. You will need to take it for a few weeks before you notice any difference, but around about sort of 4 to 6 weeks in, you're going to be thinking, oh, that's clearer and I can remember things better. And, if your brain is working more optimally, again, that has an uplifting effect on how fatigued you feel, because when you've got a foggy head, it makes you feel fatigued anyway, even if you've slept well. So do consider creatine once a day, maybe 2 to 3 grams of creatine. I think you'll find quite a positive difference from taking it. Name the emotional load. You can do this by journaling or just having a piece of paper and really noticing when you're feeling crabby, when you're feeling exhausted, when you're feeling happy, when you're feeling energized. And then look at what you're either eating or drinking 20 minutes to 2 hours beforehand, because what we eat and drink has a profound impact on how we experience the immediate aftermath. And it might be that you want to become a little bit more ninja on that. You won't need to do it for long, a couple of weeks, and it will reveal so much to you. But also, if you're feeling moody or angry or frustrated, reflect on what is causing you to feel like that. Why are you feeling frustrated? Is it because somebody is not pulling their weight around the house or the garden? Is it because you feel like you're never taken seriously? These things, they're not you being crabby and menopausal and in an irritable mood. These are just signs that something in your life is not aligning with where it needs to for you to feel content. And in fact, I'll link last week's episode in the description below, because that went very much into taking off the masks and helping you really find who you are truly at the core. Triage your day. Decide what must be done. Figure out what can wait. Let your expectations match your energy and go with the flow. Do not feel guilty if you don't manage to get everything done on your to-do list. Some days you'll probably be super efficient, and other days you might struggle to get one thing done. So quit the judgment on yourself, but just be kind and really work out, what is the top priority to get done today. Ideally get it done earlier in the day than later in the day, because I find there's a great book called Eat That Frog, Eat Your Frog, Eat That Frog. I think it's by Brian Tracy, I think. And that's all about procrastination and getting the worst thing done off your list first, because then it frees up energy for the rest of the day. So do consider triaging your day so that you're making sure to tick the most important boxes. So at least when you go to bed that night, you're thinking, got that done. Think of it a bit like your inner campfire. You don't want to be chucking huge logs on it if you've only got a few embers there. If you've only got a few embers, you need a few tiny little sticks. And then when those start to catch fire, you put a few bigger sticks on. And when those take, you put the larger sticks on. And when those take, then you can start thinking about the logs. Treat yourself just like your little inner campfire. It's so important that you don't chuck the big logs on when you're feeling depleted and you literally have nothing left in the tank. You just want those little embers. It might just be that you're going to breathe on them and put a bit of life into them rather than putting the little sticks on top. This isn't about pushing through, it's about tuning in, but also taking action on those things that you reveal about yourself. Life tiredness is not weakness. It's just wisdom waiting to be revealed. It's all signs, it's all data that if you take notice of it and then take action on, it's going to make a massive improvement to how you feel every day, whether you slept badly or not. Maybe one of the most courageous things you can do is to stop pushing through and honor the layers. You're not lazy, you're not broken, you're not this fatigued lump in a hump. You're someone becoming deeply attuned to what your body needs. And that is incredibly powerful. So I'd be interested to hear in the comments below what's something small that helps your nervous system exhale. And that sense of deep relief. One of mine is getting out, walking into nature. I find that so beneficial. And sometimes if I feel absolutely exhausted, I will lie on my back with my legs at the wall. Oh, it's just gorgeous. So try that. If you've not tried it already, it is really, I can highly recommend it. So thank you so much for your company. If you found this helpful, please give it a thumbs up. If you subscribe to the channel, then you'll make sure not to miss any future episodes. And if you want to be notified, just click the little bell icon and that will give you a bit of a reminder that the next episode has gone live. So have a great week and I will look forward to catching you next Monday.